How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Emnix Plays Path of Exile Ritual League. It's been, what, a few weeks? Maybe even, a little over a month since we've last recorded a video. Oh my god, it's Easter. Indeed, it is Easter weekend. I have some extra time this weekend. Too long? That's correct. It has been too long. Um, I've been I'll be honest, I haven't been playing much. I've been playing on and off.
Exiles.
Hey, Game
Well,
Top.
hello, Emnix
It's been a
Fire.
whole 13 months. Can you believe it? Guys, we've hit like the over 1 year mark since what, the COVID lockdowns? It's kind of crazy. How much time has passed. How much time I spent just sitting on my butt for like a whole year, right? Like I haven't been going out much, and you take some time, you look back and you reflect, and you're like, man, it's been a long time. It went by very quickly, admittedly. It really felt like it went by very quickly, but yeah, it's been very long, hasn't it? Um, so yeah, it's I haven't been playing too much, right? That's part of the reason why I haven't been streaming, because I couldn't put together 2 or 3 hours in a row without having to, walk away after 15 minutes. But today's the weekend. It's Easter weekend. I have some extra time. I've been doing maybe 1 or 2 maps per day, slowly, steadily grinding my way up. And it's, our character is still, I would say for the most part, I'm happy with where it's at. Um, it's pretty much, I wouldn't call it done. There's still more things to do. This is one of those characters where I could grind for like 8 months straight and there would be still more to do, just because of the speed at which I play, as well as the nature of the game, which is you can just keep min-maxing and it never stops. Now off stream, I was able to beat Awakener 8. I was down to my last like 500 HP, my last portal, everything. It was a struggle and a half, but I did manage to do it against Cyrus. I have not been able to beat the Maven, and I think I've come to the conclusion that, that fight, maybe we'll save it for next league. At this point, it doesn't look like I'll be able to do it, and honestly, I'm fine with that. It leaves more content for the future, I suppose. Yeah, not too much has changed for my character for the most part. I got more damage, I have more HP. I got rid of the Impulsas, I got rid of Explosion Chest just for more HP, more life recovery, which kind of ended up being more damage. So right now, I'm just running around, as a righteous fire character and just burning everything around me. So since COVID lockdown started, I have like 2.5 to 3 hours on PoE. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Here's the one thing that I've been trying to sort of just kind of focus on, which is sort of, what would they call it? Is it the work-life balance? It's not work though, it's just a balance in general, right? Because what happened was COVID started, I found that I had all this extra time, especially during Christmas when, not too much was happening, even, with regards to work. And I just found myself playing like hours on hours and hours of PoE. And you know what? I needed to find that balance. And for the last month, it was all about taking a break. I was spending way too much time and I was neglecting other stuff in my life, really, in a way, playing games instead of, doing other things. So, we're kind of bringing it back a little bit, and maybe, what ended up happening was I stopped playing altogether. Maybe I was playing one hour, 1.5 hours a day. It was just, obviously I bought a house, so there was house stuff that I had to do, but there was also like seeing family and all of that stuff, right? So it's all about keeping a good balance with regards to everything. And I before, for a while, I found myself, if I wasn't working, I was playing games. If I wasn't playing games, I was like either working, eating, or sleeping, and nothing else. And luckily now that it's a little bit in the off season, we have the new league coming in 2 weeks. I'm I'm trying to figure out what the right balance is. It's kind of hard to find, and it's always a challenge. But you know, I'm trying to find the best routine for myself. Family greater than games. I agree. You know, like it's one of those things where you just have to make sure that like it's a hobby, you know, playing games, but you know, you also have to make sure that it doesn't sort of take over everything else, right? So yeah. I also messaged you my new helm. It's not finished, but I'm working on it. Crit strike, life, +1 2. That's a cool helmet. You know what? Now's the time to try and craft all of the good gear that you can, because harvest is going away, right? It's gonna be hard to make stuff like this in the future, I would imagine. I don't want. Normally, I agree. You know what? It's just you gotta find the balance. That's all it is. That's the conclusion I come to, because you know I was definitely spending way too much time playing games. You know, and obviously that number is different for everyone else. But you know, I tipped the scales a little bit to the right, and then I tipped it a little bit to the left, and I'm just trying to find that middle. You know, I'm still working on it. But yeah, it was a little. You know, I just found myself playing way too much, so we're probably gonna get back into having somewhat of a more regular streaming schedule. As obviously I'm still working on finding, you know, the right schedule, but I felt kind of bad, you know, because I did sort of just disappear for practically a month, and you know what? It was a lot easier when I was just maintaining a YouTube schedule, because with YouTube you could record a video on a random off hour. It just take 30 minutes. You know, it's the time it takes to run out, grab a coffee, and come home, and you know you get yourself a nice little YouTube episode. But with streaming, with Twitch, it's a little bit different, right? You know, it's like you can't just. That was the one challenge I found with Twitch streaming, which was like, how do I maintain a schedule when you kind of need to dedicate, I don't know, at least 2 hours of your day, just uninterrupted, right? It's hard because, you know, for me especially, you know, there's always something going on. Maybe someone, you know, calls me, or maybe something at work happens, or you know. Well, my wife asked me to do, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that you can get that can interrupt you, or you know, somebody else. It could be anything. So definitely the YouTube schedule was a little bit more accommodating, but at the same time, you know, streaming it's a lot of fun because I get to interact with you guys. So it's you know, it's definitely, it's one of those things that was missing, you know, especially during these times with COVID and everything. I enjoyed the YouTube videos. Yeah, definitely. I think that's one thing that I want to keep up with. Do you need the Doriani's Machinarium completion? Do I need it? Do I? I don't even know. It's the Delve map? Multiple exalts? It's probably fine. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be aiming for the completion of it anyways. So I guess no. I guess I don't. Zana can't normally offer it. It's probably fine. I don't think I'm aiming for. So I'm just gonna try and get my 24th challenge. I'm at 23 right now. And I finished your Harvest video and Legion videos. Honestly, I'm thinking back about Legion League. Legion League was a really, really fun league. This entire time. Okay, so one of the reasons why I've been sort of, I'm like, man, I was thinking about just like, you know, maybe we slow down on PoE, maybe we play something else for a bit. Until the league comes out, but the last couple days I've been just like thinking about builds, and I'm like, dude, there's like, I think back and I'm like, you know, when I first started playing, a lot of the builds I played, they were just like random ass builds. It's like, hey, what would happen if I mix this and this? You know when you were a kid, I don't know if any of you did this, okay? And this is gonna be a weird tangent. When I was a kid, oh, by the way, Dream, it's okay about the map. I don't think I need a Dorianis. It's probably fine. When I was a kid, I used to be that weirdo who like would go out and like pick some flowers and then pick some leaves, and I'm like, I'm making a potion, right? What happens if I mix this and this? and then my friends and I, we would get a bunch of rocks. We would like crush a bunch of flowers, get some seeds and shit, maybe get some like fruits, and then it's like I'm making a fucking potion. And it's like we're more, this is the chemical reaction of like two different species of plants, and then we were like making all this shit up, and like being able to like mix things around and see what would happen. Oh, the colors change this way when I mix these flowers. That was a lot of fun when I was a kid. And like in PoE, it's kind of the same idea. You're trying out, oh, what happens if I mix this build with this unique, and like a lot of times the fun in Path of Exile, aside from just grinding itself, like min-maxing a build, is like what happens if I mix these two things together, and just making builds. I kind of miss that. And the last couple of weeks, I've been just thinking about, none of my builds are any good, but I've been just thinking about like, what are some fun builds to play that 99% of the time are probably trash, but it's like, hey, there are so many, like replica uniques, alternate quality gems. There's all kinds of cool stuff to play that I've never been able to try, and I've been just like looking, oh my god. But yeah, like I've been just, oh my god. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, don't jump on me. That's scary. Oh, it's that Vol Temple boss. I gotta kill her first. Ooh. Alright. Radial silence. Give me a second. Here's what I will say, like, for sure, I play a lot worse while streaming because I get super distracted. When I'm normally playing on my own, it's like just absolute silence, just full-on concentration, but I miss a lot of stuff when I'm talking and just like I'm barely playing, half the time I'm just okay. I think we're good now. Okay. One, poor flowers. Two, I know what you mean comparing it to PoE. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, let's go back to the old school days of like, just, hey, what happens if we mix this skill? Let's try a new skill. Let's try new items. I'm sure there's lots of stuff people haven't necessarily tried, or not people haven't tried, that I haven't tried. That's like kind of in the hipster realm, right? But at the same time, it could be fun. There are lots of builds I do want to try, haven't tried yet, and I've been just thinking about those a lot. Hey, how'd this drop down to Awakener? Oh. Okay. I'm still not sure what build I want to play for next league, but I've been just looking at, there's so many uniques since I last checked, and so many alternate gems, right? Or alternate quality gems, that now I'm getting all confused. I look at all kinds of item, I'm like, well, this item existed? Or like, oh, this stat existed? And, you look at those items and you're like, okay, for sure, this can be used for something, right? So maybe there's something out there, and I'm fine with like going out and taking a look. Oh, what have other people played? But it does get the juices flowing, doesn't it? Just thinking about like, oh, what does this do? Okay, what happens if I mix this unique item with this skill or whatever? And I've been getting pretty excited about that. Just like, trying out different things and thinking about it. It's been on my mind a lot. Before this league ends, I should show you how much better my build is now. You haven't seen it since it started. Is this the custom crit? sure it's insane at this point, you know? Okay, so there's one more. One thing that I haven't thought about much is how to invite me and find out. Sure, sure, sure. Is how to craft these things. Like, I've been just alterating it until I find something interesting. Unique bosses drop an additional item with random influence. But what do I look for? Additional veiled item. Let's just look for something interesting. I'll just keep spamming it until I see something interesting. Pack size is cool. Map options offered by Zana missions in areas have 45% increased chance to have 8 modifiers. Unique bosses, unique additional basic currency item. Sure, let's do that. Red beasts in areas have 12% chance to grant double experience. Sure, whatever. All right. There's another. I'm still working on, you know, being able to, like, a lot of the challenges I haven't completed because I just haven't played enough, right? Like, I haven't unlocked all of the different influences yet. Or not influences, the region bonuses. There's still a lot of challenges that I haven't done. It's just a time thing, though. You know, you just got to put more time into the build. But this is probably, you know, this is probably it. Like, I'm gonna be playing a little bit more for the next few days, but the build is pretty much. I wouldn't call it. I mean, I'm happy with the build. There's more to do, for sure. I even dropped explosion. I put life instead and life recovery. You know, the weapon is hot garbage, but one, I'm out of currency, and two, I don't think I can put any more time. Not enough, at least. So this is probably gonna be it, which is fine. I'm pretty happy. I ended up doing everything I wanted to do aside from the Maven fights, I suppose. But yeah. Buffs? What buffs? Oh, from these auras. What do I get? Zealotry, hatred, discipline, precision? What about when I walk away? I get 4 extra. 4 little more icons. Yeah, no, when all my buffs are active and everything, I can't see the monster level. Sometimes when I'm in a map and I'm like, what map is this? What's the map name? I can't see it because the buffs like go off screen. Which is, it's kind of nutty, but whatever. Okay, let's do like a whatever map. You know, I think I'd be down to try and unlock one more Cyrus before we finish everything. So let's do this. Avoid ailments is bad for you. Okay. Okay, no avoid ailments, that's fine. Let's do this is, I can't do no regen. Well, we can run it like a, here. It's like a atoll. What's this? Here. No elemental reflect or no regen. Everything else is fine. This one? Okay. Haywork, Hamlet. Alright, let's try this then. You know, this could be fun. This one is, let's throw like double beyond. And get some soul fight. Sure. Alright, let's see Dreams build. You know, it's been a while since we've seen it. I would imagine that it probably just destroys everything. But I'm gonna turn off my stuff. I'll just follow. I'll be a spectator here. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, it's sort of what I expected to see. Actually, I can't see anything. Wait, is there reflect on this map? Why did she just die? I died too. I was trying to read the mods.
Hello.
Hold on. Wait a second. Something's weird. Okay. Yeah, how come there's no damage? Elemental weakness, extra cold as fizz. Okay. This is the last one, last portal. Let's do this. Step aside. Oh, you're not res capped. Ah. Okay, well, I'm dead. I'm dead. This map, maybe this map was too hard, you know? Maybe this wasn't. Maybe this is the wrong map. Let's try a different map. Let's try a different one. Here, let's do it again. Let's do it again. This is fine. Revol it. No, this one has reflect. No good. Alk. Reflect physical is fine, I'm assuming. Ball. Okay, let's run this then. Let's give this a try. So we'll try Beyond again. We'll throw some Soul Fight on. Alright, let's do it. Here, again, I'll turn off RF. I'll just be a spectator. This is actually kind of lagging me, which is kind of funny. That's an insane amount of AoE, though. Holy cow. This is a very smooth leveling experience. Look at this. You just run in and you just pop everything. And I'll just come in, pick up the loot. Like, thanks for the loot, I guess. What's going on? Are we turning this on? Okay. One thing though is Atoll, it's like very straightforward, but the pack size isn't great here. Unlike that last map, that one was nutty. Especially with rituals here. Honestly, I actually don't know what's going on. I can't see the screen. The thing with high AoE builds, it's super cool. It's such a smooth leveling. Can't see the screen. I actually don't know what I'm doing. But I would imagine this probably cost an insane. This is what happens in like, this is the min-max version of cast on crit, you know? This is what min-maxing looks like. This is what happens in the end game. I don't think I would ever reach this level. Now that I look at it. This must be so much currency. Holy cow. It's really cool. Woo.
When I'm ready and not before.
Yeah, I guess if there's no like extra damage, it's a lot easier, huh? But when they do a lot of damage, obviously it gets really difficult. Cool. Very nice. Very cool build. Here, let's do a metamorph. Since we're here. Boop. Some nutty damage. Very cool. Very cool build. This is, guys, this is what like high-end cast on crit looks like. You know, if you guys want to aspire to something, like I wonder what cast on crit looks like in the end game, like there you go, you just saw it.
Exiles.
It's not that insane. It seems pretty insane. Hey Tara, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. 2-month streak, 2-month poggies, that's right. It's already been 2 months. In fact, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while. You know, happy Easter weekend, as always, to everyone. My cast on crit is cool, but I need more gear to make it like Dreams. Yeah, you know. Okay. Dreams gear is to the point where I look at it and I actually don't even understand it anymore. Like there are some builds where I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I required this and that's expensive. But there are some where it's like, how would I describe it? When you're a kid and you're working part-time, you're making like, I don't know, $15 an hour, and you see somebody out there making 25 an hour, you're like, wow, you know, like you're making a lot more than me, right? You understand the difference between 15 an hour and 25 an hour. But then you see some dude who's, you know, like Warren Buffett or, you know, freaking Elon Musk out there making like billions per day or millions per day, and you're just like, well, what's the difference between 1 million per day and 2 million per day? Like it's up there. Like I don't understand the value, you know, proposition anymore. Like it just, like I look at these items and I'm like, I'm assuming these are super expensive. I actually don't know anymore. Here, let's see, let's price it. Corrupted blood cannot be like what? $15x per large cluster. Yeah, it's holy cow. Well, guys, you know, if you want to build like this, message stream, pay her $200 USD, and you too could have a build like this. RMT. Cast on crit, Frostbolt, Ice Spear, Glacial Cascade, and I did Cyrus Awakener 8. Dude, Cyrus Awakener 8 for me was probably like the most struggle. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to do it on stream. I was like, it was, butt was clenched, you know, radio silence, full concentration, last portal, like I was about to die. It was one of those situations, and I killed him, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I did it. I did it thinking I would fail it, and I was like, I'm too embarrassed to show this on stream, or even record a video, so I did it the other day. But yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for me. But I will say, you know, playing this build over the last 2-3 months has given me a lot of insight on like what makes this build tick, which is one of the things that I like about, you know, maybe not necessarily following guide and just trying to figure out, you know, and part of this game is solving problems. You have a problem, how do you solve it? I can't kill Cyrus, what do I do? And I try all kinds of stuff. I got all kinds of items in my stash. I bought a Calm's Heart. I'm like, I wonder what happens if I try to, you know, use Calm's Heart. You know, I was using Impulsas, and then I bought this thing, bought new gloves, right? Like just trying to get more damage somewhere, but at the same time trying to balance out life. And there was a lot of soul searching in a way when I was playing, because what I found was, you know, I hate dying. I think the bottom line was one of the things that really turned me off was trying to get so much damage that I sacrificed survivability. And that was... I hated that. I think from now on, I want to play tanky builds. I don't care if I do no DPS. I don't want to die. It might be more pricey than that. My all quality gems are awakened gems. This gem is stupid expensive. 2120 alternate quality divergent precision. What's your guess? Yeah, I have no idea. Here, let me throw it in the macro. 17 exalts. Yeah. See, I would never get to this point. I think you're the first one who make RF life base and not low life. Well, one thing I need to consider is the fact that I don't ever get to a point where I get to spend money, right? Like each item is maybe the most expensive item is my helmet, which was like 15 exalted, but everything else was maybe like 100 chaos, 200 chaos. Like you know, budget is definitely, you know, one of my top concerns. 21 exalt for 2% damage. Yeah, this isn't a knock against you, but like I would never do that. I would never do that because I would never get there, right? It's like I'm not gonna farm 21 exalts. Like how long would that take me? A month for 2% damage? Like I wouldn't be able to. Like it'd be physically impossible for me. And I see that and I'm like, man, that is so impressive. That's so cool. But I look at that and I'm like, I guess I can't play that build. That's my my conclusion. I guess I'm not playing that. All right, let's run another map. There's the Academy. Hopefully I get, you know, Hunter soon. What is this? Lex Proxima. Okay. Let's do just Fortune favors the brave. Let's get Zana in here. So yeah, like, you know what? This... Now that I got rid of the explosion chest, you know, I've been focusing a little bit more on survivability. I think before I only had like 5,000 HP. Now I'm at 6,200. It definitely feels a lot better. Clear speed, I actually think it might be lower, but just not dying all the time just makes it a more, you know, a smoother experience. Like there's less interruptions, you know. You can play with cast on crit with way less. I can do a more screen clutter version as well. How do you even see when that happens? How do you even know what's going on? I guess that's like the end game goal, right? To make it, you know, so crazy that nobody knows what's going on, not even your enemies. How does your enemy know what, you know? How does your opponent know what you're doing if you don't even know what you're doing? Like that's the ultimate strategy, isn't it? You know, when it comes to playing strategy games, it's all about like throwing your opponents off. Now, this is AI monsters. You know, it might not be the same thing, but you get the point. We're just gonna confuse the heck out of them. Is it possible to lag out the AI? Guys, we need to think out of the box. But yeah, definitely, I've been focusing more, and I think I figured out my playstyle, right? Which is basically a build that, like okay, here in my quest to try and play like what I observed as other people playing, which is, you know, just get as much damage as you can, kill things before they can kill you. I ended up dying a lot. You know, I had a lot of deaths on this character, and it kind of turned me off of the build, I would say. And once I like started looking more at like, okay, you know what? Like this isn't my playstyle at all. Like being able to kill things as fast as I can and doing as much damage as I can, ended up resulting in me like, it involves putting enough currency to get that much damage output, and that was never gonna happen. I think that was the problem. So instead, I need something more of a middle ground, which is like, I don't have much damage, but at least I won't die all the time. At least I won't be like the squishy glass cannon, because what I had was Z DPS and Z HP, and it's not my playstyle at all, and it was draining. You know, you go into a map, like a wind blows and you freaking die, and now you have to run back and do the map all over again, and you know, it was draining. Definitely, once I start getting more HP, even though I have less damage, I'm having a lot more fun. You have to run back. Past on death port. Yeah, I don't have the gem slots for that. And like, I don't go into the game going, well, I know I'm gonna die, so let me just, you know, waste 2 of my slots of my sockets just so I can cast on death. You know, why not just not die? This is my approach to it.
When I'm ready and not
Oh, I don't die. You don't die that much? Okay. What's my death counter? 679. I die a lot, I'm telling you. I should get a cast on death? No, I'd rather just not die, you know? Instead of just expecting to die, let's try and solve a different problem. Let's just try and not die. That's my philosophy. If I have to sacrifice damage and everything to not die, I'll do it. Cast on death just means like, instead of solving the problem, I'm just gonna put a band-aid, and I don't like that. So, definitely when I switched my chest armor to something else, and just tried to get more survivability and HP, you know, more life recovery, I think helped a lot. That definitely, you know, made things a lot better. I was probably, for the longest time, I was using all 6 portals in a map. Like, what? You know, and it was rough. It was rough. 4.7k ES character without res capping and died less. Honestly, you asked me how, and I don't even know the answer to it. I don't know. I don't know, but it's better now for sure. Definitely better. You know, dropping Impulsas actually made a big difference. Getting the, what was it? This Bastion of Elements helped a lot too with regards to survivability. So I basically dropped the damage cluster, Heart of Destruction, Mastermind, Discord. I dropped both of them, just for like a 3k shield. I don't have a cast when damage taken guard skill, so this was sort of the alternative, and it worked pretty well. And you know, definitely I'm dying a lot less. So yeah, I'm actually very happy with the character at this point. I can, you know, if I had to call it a day with regards to this character, you know, I'd be happy. I'd be like, you know what, this was a good character. It was very fun, and yeah. I also have no cast when damage taken setup. I guess I could do cast when damage taken portal. How do you do cast when damage taken if you don't have a cast when damage taken setup? I don't understand. Alright, we almost got Hunter there. Instead of cast on death? Oh. Hmm. Alrighty. I mean, I'm hoping I can end this league with another Cyrus fight. Looking at my build, you can tell influence mods were a mistake. I have 6 uniques and 4 rares. 3 are double influenced. And 1 is Templar Redeemer. Huh? Oh. Incursion mod? Huh? Sorry, I don't... Yeah, whatever. The cold res mod? That only drops in temple? Can't be rolled? Oh. Yeah, that looks like a difficult craft. Looks like a difficult craft. Okay. Where am I with regards to challenges? I just need one more. I think I just need to do 5 more maps with 8 map mods. That shouldn't be too hard. And then I'll be able to get to 24. I'll be happy with that. Six T1 mods with an incursion mod. You know, I never... That's always something that I always imagined as like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Just get pure T1 mods. Perfect your items. I always thought those were like PoE. I always thought it was one of those games where you're supposed to get as close to perfect as you can, but you're never supposed to reach it. Just so that you always have, like, that's the point of min-max, right? But somehow it got to a point where it was deterministic. You know, you put up enough, you put in enough coin or time, you put in enough money, and you'll be able to get it. And I'm glad they're taking away harvest, because I don't think that's right. Oh. But yeah, definitely, like, if this was maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I would have died like 10 times on this map, you know? Oh, but Emnix, like, there's only six portals to a map. Yeah, I know. How do you even die 10 times? I don't know, but somehow I would have been able to do it, you know? Like, this character was a little squish. And I did all of that just so that I could get, I got baited. I got baited by freaking the explosion chest, you know? I'm like, man, the explosion chests are so cool. You got all these like cool explosions, so fun, so fun. And then I'm like, why am I dying so much? Because I kind of, you know, invested everything in trying to just make explosions work. But after, you know, getting rid of that and just focusing on just, you know, like just solid play, you know, like get enough HP so you can sustain Righteous Fire. Make sure you get enough defenses. I end up investing more into endurance charges, just getting like more layers of defense, and now it feels so much better. High level bossing is still very hard. Like when I was doing the Maven fight earlier just now, or this episode, you know, that was rough, but you know, as long as I played like a solid game, it wasn't too bad. So you know, at the end of the day, it was just like making sure that I built around, you know, what RF is, which is like a lot of regen. You know, like a high amount of life. The more life you have, the more damage you do. I just kind of detracted from that and just tried to go, oh, let's try and make proliferating ignites with explosion chests, and RF is just a bonus. But, you know, RF makes you burn like all of your HP away. So I didn't have any regen. You know, after making sure I got more life, more regen, more life recovery, you know, endurance charges, layers of defense, things got a lot better for sure. And now I'm having a lot of fun. A little sad that the league is ending, because definitely, you know, I would have tried to put more into this character, but at the same time, it does all the content that I wanted to do. Again, Maven fight aside, because I don't think I fought Maven this league. Not the Ritz or whatever. The Whiteout. Cospriest Malice. Cool. Cock with a cock. Ah! I like that. You know, divination cards is like where everyone gets to pour all of their creativity into these days. Like, people aren't making uniques anymore, are they? Maybe they still are, actually. But all the creativity is in, like, divination cards, which is kind of cool. Some people are. Oh, I imagine, you know, a lot. There must have been like a giant queue of like uniques. Most are doing div cards now. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. You know, you got a lot more div cards released than user created unique items. Can you imagine making a diff card and it's like super rare? Only findable via stacked deck or something? Yeah, I wish GGG, I don't know if they do. Maybe they warn you. It's like, hey man, this is gonna be a really, really rare card. Just watch out for it. Because you can be like, I don't want this to be a rare card. And then, you know, GGG's gonna come back and be like, well, don't make it so powerful. And then you go, okay, fine, that's fair. Because a lot of people try to make like, oh, I want the strongest card possible. I want to be able to find a freaking headhunter or a mirror or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, like, what the frick did you expect? You know, it's not like all of a sudden, even though you made a card that can give you a mirror, and you increase like the likelihood of mirrors dropping. You know, they have to keep in mind that, okay, now that there's more ways to get it, we have to like lower the percentages or whatever. The ones I like are the ones that, like, you know, people make cards for, I don't know, a crafting basis or something, you know, or like influence items, influence bases with like maybe specific mods. I think that's pretty cool. But, you know, nowadays cards are quite different. It's more like, here's a doctor. Here's, you know, the deterministic way of getting headhunters. Ooh. Jeez, who's doing this? I'm like trying to dodge all this fire around me. Is Haast in here somewhere? Okay, I think I got him. That looks like Abixoth? Really? I don't think it was. If it was, I feel super cool. You know, I remember the days when Abixoth was like a real pain in the butt. Like, you see Abixoth and you just run. But I used to play all kinds of gimpy builds, right? So like when I see Beyond and I see that they're actually like difficult, like Haast was like, okay, take a deep breath. Okay, we're going in. We're going in, and like let's just like, you know, let's pucker up the sphincter and hope that you don't die. And then you kill them and it feels like a real accomplishment. Now it's like, and it still feels like an accomplishment because I look back at that and I'm like, yeah, that's a hard fight. I remember when Abixoth was hard, now he just gets one shot. I remember when Mammoth insta-detoned you when he spawned and died instantly. Yeah, like, it was difficult. Now it's like, wow, who did I just kill? Oh, Abixoth? Cool. But no, I still look at it, I go, oh wow, I killed Abixoth? That feels good, you know? I don't want to lose that. But I think if you end up playing a bunch of gimpy builds all the time, it's still a challenge. Alrighty. Slowly burning through the maps. Actually, one thing that I have noticed is map drops really are not a problem anymore, huh? Like, you get a lot of them. Especially when the Awakener level goes up. They've become... You know, at one point getting red maps, getting tier 16s was real difficult. Now it's like, oh, which tier 16 should I run, right? Like, I have like, oh, 19 burial chambers and, you know, like, let me see, hold on. What tier strand? 15 strands, you know, like there's a lot of maps to go around. That's not a problem anymore. Okay, so we have The hunter fight unlocked. So let's fight a little bit of big old poison owl. Al Hezmin. And it's like, I look back at this character, and in a way, I'm like, man, I don't feel like I did too much with it. You know, like I did minor upgrades here and there. I swapped my 20 level 20 gem to a 23% gem, you know, like just small min-max upgrades. But what I've come to realize is those small upgrades actually, they mean a lot if you combine it with other small upgrades. Eventually it accumulates into one big upgrade. And the best way I could see that, like the progress that I've made is through like these Elder Slayer Guardian fights, right? Like these boss fights. Before, an Awakener 8 boss fight was like impossible. It literally takes like freaking 20 minutes, you know, to do a fight. And now it's well, definitely not 20 minutes anymore. It's a lot easier. And I'm like, you know what? Like just those small upgrades, you just gotta keep solving one problem at a time, right? What's my next upgrade? What's my next upgrade? Okay, upgrade this, upgrade that. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And eventually, your character, it's like, wow. Compared to like a month ago, or 2 months ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever you set little little points in time for yourself, and you look at those landmarks, and you're like, wow, like I've come a long way. Like these fights used to be super challenging. And I mean, it's easier now. It's easier now. You know, we've come a long way. I look at that, I'm like, man, hoggies. These fights used to be really tough. Remember when we like set a prediction where it's like, am I gonna die? And it took me like 4 portals to freaking kill this guy, and it was like Awakener in 5 or 6 or something. It wasn't even that hard. We've come a long way. I lost all my points for that. And I think that's one of like the cooler stories about, you know, playing in the league and these series in general, which is like those small upgrades, they don't mean anything, right? Oh, here's 2% more damage, here's 3% more damage, and you're like, it's 3%, man. Well, I'm gonna kill this guy 2% faster. Like, you know, 2% of 60 seconds is how much is that? It's like 1 point something seconds. Like, I can kill him a second faster. But like you get 2% more and a 2% more and 2% more, and you do enough of those, all of a sudden you got like 20-30% more damage, and like, wow, it actually made a difference. And then you do the same thing for your survivability, for your auras, for everything, and it's like, okay, all of a sudden that boss that took me like 5 or 6 minutes to kill, now he takes like 2 minutes. And like, you know, that boss which required me to use all 6 portals, you know, I can kill him deathless. I believed in you and I lost all my points believing in you, so I don't know if I do anymore. Guys, NTE. NTE. If there's one thing you guys are about to learn from this entire league, NTE, never trust Emnix. They can't be trusted. Do you know what build you're going to play next league? No, I don't. There's a lot of things in my mind. I look at items and I go, oh wow, it'd be really fun to play this build, or it'd be really fun to play that build. I'm thinking about Infernal Blow. I keep talking about Infernal Blow. Every league, whenever I start with Infernal Blow something something. And I'm like, man, this skill is so fun. If only I wasn't planning on playing on, I don't know, like Lacerate or friggin' Cyclone or that was whatever, and insert melee skill. If only I wasn't planning on playing insert melee skill, I'd be playing Infernal Blow, and I never play it. Because Infernal Blow was that skill that showed up when the game like first came out or something. Like it's super old. Like it was probably one of the first builds my friend played when we were in college, like 8 years ago. So I think of that skill and I'm like, man, it's like the skill's outdated. Like but at the same time, it's gone through so many reworks, and it just. I always like the builds where you can kind of tell with this one, it's like with the explosions and everything, it looks so cool. But then you always like I have this like little voice in the back of my head that goes, yo, Infernal Blow is probably garbage for single target, and then the next voice goes, you don't want to play a garbage skill, do you? But these days there's another voice that goes, no, maybe you do want to play a garbage skill. Is it even a garbage skill? You don't even know, man. Why knock it before you try it? So I don't know. I'm really thinking about it. I'm going with a Cyclone build. A Cyclone build's always good. You can't knock a Cyclone build. It's always good. You are as well. Oh, there you go. A lot of Cyclone stands in the house. I was also looking at Jeffrey's Devotion. And that looked interesting. I think Mathil was playing like Jeffrey's Devotion Ignite. I was thinking about that. Ignite, maybe Battle Mage. Like, I have ideas in my head, but they're never good ideas, right? I'm like, what did you did Jeffrey's Devotion, Battle Mage, skill, the spell, do more skill. Her brain hurts, and then I don't know what to do anymore, but that might be fun. I never made one, even in Diablo 2, I never made a Whirlwind Barbarian. Oh. Hey. Hey, sorry. I can't read party chat when I'm reading my Twitch chat at the same time. I end up ignoring my party chat. I can't read it. It goes by too quick and it doesn't stick around. Read party chat sometimes. Yeah, I literally don't see it.
Is it on a separate screen where you just like filter it out?
I don't look at the top left, bottom left corner because my Twitch chat is on a separate screen.
Oh.
What's going on, man? Happy Easter, dude.
Happy Easter. We built a desk a couple weekends ago.
A desk or deck?
Yeah, desk.
A desk.
No, I wouldn't build a deck. I would.
Dude, that'd be sick. I'm like, hey man, you say you're not handy, but that sounds real handy.
it took us 9 hours to build a desk.
Is this an IKEA desk?
No, it's from, where's it from? Costco desk. It's Costco.
Costco? Okay.
But what's the company? Costco's just South Shore. Anyways, Maddie was like, it's gonna take 5 hours to build. I'm like, no way, it's not gonna take 5 hours. What? 5 hours to build a desk? It's probably gonna take like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, I would imagine it wouldn't take that long.
It took like 9 hours.
What happened?
It's just like a lot of parts, a lot of screwing things together, a lot of assembly.
Is this an office desk? Like I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, it's an office desk. Maybe I'll see if I can take a picture and show you. And then it took so long. Maddie even like injured her neck from like bending over.
Oh my goodness!
So she was like in pain for a week.
Oh my
One
God.
desk. I'll see if I can take a picture.
Maybe next time just buy it pre-assembled, dude. Oh, I think he's going to take a picture of it. I remember when I made my desk, granted mine is small, but it took like 2 hours. Yeah, you know what? Assembling furniture it's actually pretty hard. I remember when we bought like this IKEA bed, and I made the mistake of assembling it in the bedroom. And I took forever. I took like 6 hours. No, 4 hours. But I made the mistake of starting at like 10:30 p.m. And I was like, it won't be a problem. Like, this is just IKEA furniture. I'll finish it in like an hour tops. And we go to bed at like 11:30. My wife had to sleep on the couch that night. Oh, lesson learned, you know? Never be too confident. That was my mistake. Yeah. I was like, this is gonna be easy. It was not easy.
Initially, Maddie's like, would you pay someone like $100 to build this thing? And I'm like, no.
No, you know what? I still wouldn't. I wouldn't pay someone $100 to build it.
Oh man, after that, I was like, I would pay someone $300 to build this thing.
Really? Well, you know what? You have the luxury of that, okay? I think about the $100. I'm still picking up furniture off like the freaking.
I can't believe you guys carried that home.
Huh? Oh no, we got a coffee table the other day. I didn't even tell you. Like 2 days ago, we picked off a freaking coffee table. It's like a fucking marble coffee table. It's like it's so heavy.
Oh, marble coffee table?
Yeah, man.
Those are expensive.
It actually looks real nice. We saw it. We were driving. We were going out to get pizza.
They picked it home. It's like someone threw it out on the ground.
Yeah, here. Let me send you a picture. Hold on.
Okay. They picked up patio furniture, but he says they just picked up some coffee table, a marble coffee table. You know where they live? They live in an affluent area. People are throwing out marble coffee tables.
Or I think it's marble. What do I forward to? Yeah, I sent it to you. It's nice. It was nice. I think it's marble, or it could be fake. I don't know, but
that looks really nice.
Like real marble?
He doesn't know.
It was heavy. It was so heavy. Emnix went AFK in a delirium map to do that. Yeah, man. Nothing's gonna show up. It's fine. This is one of the reasons why I die all the time, and one of the reasons why I can't. I'm so bad with like streaming PoE. You know, with YouTube you can just pause the video. I can take a break and I can send a picture. I can go AFK, no problem.
Maddie's wondering if you bought the couch.
Couch? No. Okay, so it's a little embarrassing to say. Okay, it's a little embarrassing to say, but the most expensive piece of furniture in that living room is like one of those. It's like a beanbag chair because we got every single piece of furniture for free.
How? That's amazing.
Either, you know, like some of the furniture it was left behind by the previous owner. Some of it we found. Some of them, you know, someone else was moving out. They were like, hey, I don't need this thing anymore. We definitely saved a lot of money.
Yeah. Furniture is expensive.
You know what it is, and it doesn't drive me crazy, but it does. Like, I do look at it and question it sometimes. Furniture is one of those things where it's worth a lot when you buy it, but for whatever reason, by the time you want to get rid of it, it's worth nothing. You know, so many people throw out like good furniture because it doesn't match or it doesn't whatever, right?
Yeah. It's about how well it matches, and furniture is kind of like a car. It depreciates very quickly.
Very quickly. So,
it.
you know, like I said, we found a patio table the other day, and we were like, well, we don't have a patio table, so let's take this home, and by the time we want another one, we could either get rid of this or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Um,
saves a lot of money because we were looking at patio furniture, and to buy a new, it's like it's about 1,200 to 1,500 for the set that you picked up.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a
it's
similar amount of
yeah.
stuff.
So we picked those up in two separate occasions, right?
Yeah.
Like the table. I don't think I talked about this on stream. So my wife was taking a walk in the neighborhood, and somebody threw out one of those glass, patio tables. And she came home and she was like, "Hey, do you think we'll be able to take that home? We were looking at a patio set and they're pretty expensive. We have a mortgage to pay and everything. You save where you can, and it's in pretty good condition. Should we go see if we can put it in the car?" So I drove over, and I'm like, "There's no freaking way this fits in our car. We got a tiny little, little sedan. Like it's not gonna fit." So we're like, you know what? This is pretty close to home. So my wife and I, we decided to carry this table. It was for me, I felt it was pretty light. Like I could have done it. Definitely it requires two people. But for my wife, she's it was probably like a 20-minute walk. We carried it all the way home, and by the time we were like almost home, she was taking a break every minute. We would walk like a minute, and she's like, okay, break time. Put down the table, you take a break for like 30 seconds, like, okay, we're ready. You go, we walk for another minute. Oh, break time. That's probably why it took 20 minutes, actually. It wasn't that far. It was probably like
Poor Kay. For those that don't know, Shohan's wife is, a smaller size little.
yeah. She's tiny.
Like home a huge patio.
It was rough. It was definitely very
would
rough.
have carried it all home himself, Shohan.
I wouldn't have been able to carry it home by myself. That thing's probably like
exactly.
a good.
It's
Yeah,
huge.
it's big.
My game just crashed.
Oh. So then, so we got the patio table, and we are like, perfect. Now all we have to do is like buy some chairs, right? And then it's like, okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for chairs. And then probably 2 or 3 days later, Kay was walking in her parents' neighborhood, and then someone was throwing out, I think like an umbrella, like those patio umbrellas. And then we're like, oh, perfect, like an umbrella, you can put that into the table. So she asked the owner, she was like, hey, like, are you, are you throwing that out? Can we take it? And they're like, yeah, but the umbrella's broken. But if you'd like, you can come inside and, we're moving out, and you can take a look at some of the other furniture that we were planning on either throwing out or giving away or whatever.
Wow. So you guys knocked on the door and did that?
No, they were throwing things out, and they were out on the yard, throwing out some furniture.
Oh.
So, she was taking a walk and she saw it. Haha, you died? I know. Honestly, I die a lot more on stream because, I'm really distracted. Yeah. Sasha, how's it going, man? Long time no see. I missed you, dude. I'm calling 911 for abusing my wife. Honestly, justified. I'm here to re-invite you when you get the league start experience of crashing. Oh yeah, that's. Oh yeah, Dream. Did you fix your PC? I'm assuming you did. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to play. That's good. Oh yeah, so the owner of the place was like, yeah, we bought a new house, and now we're like getting rid of all our furniture. And I mean, you know where Kay's parents live. It's nice. It's a nice area, right? So so they were like, yeah, come inside, see if you want anything. So they gave us all the chairs for the backyard patio set, and then a bunch of other stuff. And then they had some like nice bar stools. They had like really nice kitchen chairs, like Italian leather chairs. Like they're nice. And we were like, well, unfortunately, we already have kitchen chairs at our place. But my brother-in-law, he also just bought a place, so we actually gave all that stuff to him. So yeah, honestly, in the last month, we've been getting so much furniture.
So, Joanne's talking about how he's getting free stuff, and they got like some free nice leather chairs from Kay's area.
You haven't
Leather
been...
chairs are expensive.
Yeah, these are probably pretty expensive. You haven't been
Yeah.
streaming on a regular... Yeah, you know, I think I mentioned it earlier today, but I've been trying to find that balance between, you know, gaming and just everything else. You know, like for a while that balance was definitely tilted towards the gaming direction, and I had to correct it, and unfortunately I overcorrected. But it's Easter weekend, you know. I figured, you know, I have some time, and let's try and tip the scales back, and then try to find that balance point. So, trying to become a little bit, you know, trying to stay a little more regular. And yeah, just getting back into it, especially with the league coming back. You know,
You mean the new league?
the new league, yeah.
Yeah, a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 more weeks. I'm excited. I'm excited. I have no idea what
Yeah.
to expect. I like this new. You know, for the longest time they were doing like, here's an announcement of an announcement of an announcement, and then they were like drip feeding you all the Oh my god, I died while still moving. They were drip feeding you content, but I much prefer that they just release it all at once. You know, with some big announcements. Do you think they're gonna do anything about like?
TFT?
Yeah, or just like harvest crafting in general.
Well, they nerfed Harvest Craft.
They
right?
nerfed it, but
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's just to get the bad news out of the way so they can give you some good news, right? Or do you think it's like, we need to get rid of the bad news so that the league announcement doesn't go to shit? Harvest crafting is still the best crafting in the game as of now. It's true. It's still really, really good.
Yeah. And even when they nerfed it, like, you can still use it to make jewels that are really good, right? You can use it for other things.
LOL ZDPS, you with Quinn on harvest crafting needs to be nerfed even more. Nerfed even more. I don't know until I try it. I think it's still very strong. I think all the people complaining are the people who wanted multiple T1 gear in the first place, and you know, the whole point of this game is to always chase for something. And what's the point of having like being able to craft super good items? You don't even need them. That's my opinion.
I will say it's gonna make like explodey chests much harder to get.
Sure, but okay, I got tricked by the explodey chest. Like,
How?
I was running Impulsa because I'm like, I can't afford an explodey chest right now. But it's like very similar, right? And I've been running this whole time, and I have freaking 600 deaths. And I decided, I'm like, you know what? Fuck the explodey chest. I'm just gonna try and play solid. Just get some HP on my chest. You know, like, forget the explosion. I could spend that money on like survivability. And now, the game feels so much better. Like, I'm having so much more fun. I'm not dying as much. I'm still dying, but like before, I would use like all 6 portal on like on a freaking map, right? Like, it was really hard.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Feels bad. So, I guess the point is like, that should be a chase item too. You know, not everyone gets it. Not everyone should have it. You don't need it, to be fair. In fact,
No,
once
but
I got rid of
makes
it,
the
I
clear
started
feel
playing better.
So much better.
Huh?
It makes the clear feel so much better,
Yes, that's true.
right? Like
That is true.
clear feels amazing.
Ugh, I'm still dying a lot though.
Me too. Me too.
Explosion is a luxury. Yeah, I think that's the ultimate point. It is a luxury. I definitely agree. And I think harvest crafting will still be very, very strong. You can still get an explosion chest very easily.
I wouldn't say easily.
Why not?
It's quite a lot of jagged fossils. We're talking about fossil crafting, right?
No. I'm talking about harvest crafting. The only thing you can't do is augment, right? You can't do direct augment.
I don't know if they're allowing you to do that, the non stuff to influence items.
Really?
Wasn't that a thing? I don't know. I can't remember.
No. Non to... That still works.
For influence items?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And if that's the case, it's still very strong. You can still get explosion chests. It's not a problem.
Yeah, if you can use the non-crafts, then it's still very strong. Like,
honestly, I'm still of the opinion that if you wanted some of this to be deterministic, like have bases available, like through div cards or something, you know?
Yes.
Like an explosion base.
there are explosion bases. They're just super rare. Like the synth.
Do they exist?
Bases. Yeah, there are synth wands and other stuff with explosion bases. They're super rare.
Hmm.
Be careful.
Anyways, point is, like, once, you know, if you make it... Like, it's not a chase item anymore. It's just like, how much are you willing to pay? With Harvest, nothing's a chase. It's just like, oh, I need to farm up currency so I can buy these crafts. Sasha, by the way, what have you been playing these days? I know I haven't been, you haven't been talking much. Yeah, I think gear... I mean, okay, there's a large population of people who want to craft for gear, which is fair. But when it's too deterministic, it's like, I just need to... I don't know. It's rough. It's hard to say. Like, I know what I like, but that's very different from what other people like, right? Like, for me, the things that get me excited is like basically RNG. I'm playing a casino game, and I know, you know, I recognize I'm playing a casino game. And I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. I'm playing the slots. And what slots means is just lots of layers of RNG, and when you get lucky, it feels great. You know, but not everyone likes that. And like, I think what's happening right now is there's a population of people who are like, this is a casino game. That's not okay. Meanwhile, I'm going here and it's like, guys, like, was no one aware of what they were playing this entire time? I've been playing Outriders with a friend when the servers are online. It's pretty fun. I think you'd enjoy it too. I've been staring at it, thinking about it, really considering it, because it's like PoE with guns, you know. Yeah, I have been thinking about it, but I did hear that there are some like server issues, and I was like, what happens if like the server issues don't get fixed until like 2 weeks later, and then I'll just be playing more PoE? I was really on the fence. I was like, man, this looks like fun. Like, it is up my alley. Some crafts still cost multiple mirrors. Someone spent 86 mirrors in standard recrafting a synth bow to perfect. Yeah, but that's too perfect. I thought the whole point was you shouldn't get perfect. You know what? If you spend 86 mirrors trying to craft it to perfect, that means without harvest crafting, it's literally impossible. You know, or it'll be a lot more than 86 mirrors. I guess good on you, I suppose, but
I'm ready and not before.
I don't know. You're right with all of it. The servers are crap. We just tried it again, but it wouldn't work. They burned 50 plus Eternals? Oh. Right, Eternals exist. Did you just crash?
I think I just crashed. I think I might need another between my router and my point.
I thought you were gonna say another PC. I'm like, don't even start. For those of you who don't understand what I'm getting at, we got Alan into this game. You know, he was watching my friend and I play Path of Exile. He's like, oh, this looks like a fun game. And we're like, yeah, you should play it. You would enjoy it. But he was on like a work laptop. And like, you know, like, how exactly do you expect... You guys, for those of you familiar with PoE, the performance is not exactly optimized, especially for like a crappy laptop with like integrated graphics and, you know, like, you know, just basically nothing. But he didn't know that, and he was playing in Blight League, which was arguably one of the most unoptimized leagues in terms of like performance there was, right? So he got to like maps and then couldn't get any further because he kept crashing. And he was already like so invested in the game and so addicted that instead of going, you know what? Fuck this game. This, you know, the performance is so unoptimized, I can't play it. You went, you know what? Guess I'm gonna buy a new gaming PC. I guess it's time.
You know how I ended up buying like the mesh Wi-Fi thing?
Yeah?
For some reason, I think my is too far away from my router, so it's going through too many walls or whatever.
Oh really? I'm
Yeah.
still just hardwiring everything because I don't know how to solve problems, so I just do it the brute force way. It's fun, you have 3 abilities, but can choose from 10, so you can customize that way. You get a skill tree, and even the gear you pick up enhances your abilities and such, so you always have choices to make, which is fun. One of the things that always attracted me, like, when I was in, like, high school, I played... Okay, no, let's rewind. When I was in, like, elementary school, I played... And middle school, I guess. I played quite a bit of Diablo 2. Not enough to... compared to everyone else, like, I don't remember anything about Diablo 2, but I just remember it was very fun, and I enjoyed like the looting of Diablo 2. And then when I got to like late middle school, high school, I played a lot more MMOs, and one of the things I really didn't like about MMORPGs, and like I understand why it's like that, is the fact that the itemization is the same for everyone. And because I started like my RPG experience pretty much with Diablo, my mindset was like nobody should ever have the same set of gear. You know, like my gear is never going to be the same as yours. Whereas in MMOs, everyone's looking for like the royal golden sword of blah blah +3. And then like the next upgrade is the same sword but +4 or whatever, right? Especially those free-to-play MMORPGs. And like, I played it because, you know, you guys all know MMOs are like, it's addicting, right? And it's fun, but itemization was like, it was a sore point for me. And then when Diablo 3 came out and Path of Exile came out, it was like a breath of fresh air, right? It was like, oh, this is what I've been looking for this entire time. And then you got like things like Borderlands, The Division, and like I would assume Outriders would be the same same idea, which is like itemization with like random stats and all that stuff. You know, that aspect is very important to me with regards to like RPG games, I think, or that kind of stuff attracts me. But I guess if you spin it in another way, I like lotteries. You know, I like slot machines. I like PoE because everyone has different gear. Fast forward to Ritual League. And you know what? That's one of my issues with harvest crafting, which is the more you can make it so everyone can get T1 everything. Yeah, like everyone ends up with the same gear again. And the whole point is like everyone, like even with build guides, right? Like people follow build guides and go, okay, I need this exact piece of gear, and then they just craft it. But the whole point is like it's a guide to guide you in that direction, and you have to look for like a set of stats instead. So yeah, like I'm glad they're adding a little bit more randomness back into the game. Actually, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I actually support it. Nice move to buy a PC. My aunt has asked me to look for a laptop for her. I mean, like a laptop serves a different purpose, right? Like it's supposed to be like just a portable machine that you can take with you. Like, you know, sometimes I would go on vacation, or I would, okay, maybe vacation's a bad example. I would visit my in-laws, or I would visit my parents who are in a different city. And I can't like lug my PC with me, you know? But like I would love to, just to be able to, you know, maybe like play some games while I'm on the train, or like when I'm you know, like I need to check my email, I need to reply to some work stuff, and I don't need to do it on my phone. You know, that's kind of what I see the laptop for. It's just like an easy screen to use while you're like watching YouTube or streams or whatever, right? In a division, I didn't like that the best you could obtain were full sets. There weren't any thinking going on in the later parts of end-game gear, just optimizing numbers. Yeah, when it gets to that point, I think at that point I got a little bored. I remember, not even in the end game, like towards the end of like mid game, I started complaining. I'm like, yo, I'm just basically getting the same weapon, but with like higher numbers. Or like, you know, like yeah. And I clearly remember someone going like, someone's like, hey man, what's your problem? Like, that's the whole game. You're just trying to get better stuff. I'm like, but I'm getting the same weapon and just with like higher number. Like it nothing changed. Right? Like in PoE, you get to late game and like stats change a lot. Right? Before I had a chest that just had life. My next upgrade is a chest with like freaking explosions on it, right? So I don't know. It's oh shit. Okay guys, my in-laws are here and I didn't know. So I actually have to end the stream right now.
Surprise.
Surprise. Okay, I mean it has been like an hour and a half, so we can end it right here. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, as always, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. Otherwise, keep in touch guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.